afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this afternoon's meeting of the Public Service Commission. Before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to please take a moment and bow your heads for a moment of silent reflection. Amen. Thank you. Okay, before we begin, we'll do something I seem to forget every week, but we'll do the commissioner roll call. And so I'll call your names. Commissioner Belzer.
Here.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Here.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Here.
Commissioner Howard.
Here.
Commissioner Urban.
Here.
Great. And Commissioner Randall is here as well. So we got everybody. And Commissioner Hamilton, I even remembered you. So like I forgot you last night or Monday, whenever it was we were doing the night hearing. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. David Butler.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. The first order of business would be to set the next commission meeting, and staff would recommend July 8, 2020 at 2 p.m.
That works. That's fine. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Turning to the utilities agenda, item number 1 is docket number 2005-98C. This is a request of Matrix Telecom, LLC, to add a DBA lingo to its name without notice.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Howard.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the request of Matrix Telecom, LLC, to add DBA lingo to the name without notice. Matrix Telecom states the company does not have any customers under that DBA who will be affected by the addition of the name. Tariffs under DBA lingo shall be filed within 10 days of the date of this commission's order, as well as an updated authorized utility representative form reflecting the addition of the new DBA lingo. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Howard's motion. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll call a roll. Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman and other commissioners, item number 2 is docket number 2020-3E, the fuel case for Duke Energy Carolinas, LLC. There's a petition to intervene before the commission filed on behalf of the South Carolina Energy Users Committee.
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Urban.
Commissioner Urban.
I move that we grant the petition to intervene filed on behalf of the South Carolina Energy Users Committee. So moved.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Urban's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
And aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, item number 3 involves docket numbers 2019-185E and 2019-186E, involves the limited rehearing granted in these dockets by the commission. The South Carolina Solar Business Alliance Incorporated, Johnson Development Associates, both request that these 2 dockets be held in abeyance pending conclusion of settlement discussions with Duke Energy Carolinas, LLC and Duke Energy Progress, LLC.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, the South Carolina Solar Business Alliance and Johnson Development Associates request that dockets number 2019-185E and 2019-186E be held in abeyance pending the conclusion of settlement discussions with Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC. Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant the requests. So moved.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Irvin.
Yes, sir.
Please let the record reflect that I have recused in these two dockets and will not be voting.
The record will reflect Commissioner Irvin is recused in these dockets. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay. If not, Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 4 is docket number 2019-184E, Dominion Energy South Carolina limited rehearing. The Commission's in receipt of a motion from Johnson Development Associates, South Carolina Solar Business Alliance, South Carolina Coastal Conservation League, Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, and Upstate Forever for withdrawal of the petitions for reconsideration or rehearing and a request to administratively close the limited rehearing proceeding. I would note for the record, Mr. Chairman, that Dominion Energy has filed a response to that request.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
South Carolina Solar Business Alliance, South Carolina Coastal Conservation League, Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, and Johnson Development Associates have filed a joint request for withdrawal of their petitions for reconsideration or rehearing or limited rehearing, as the caption of their individual petitions may be. I move that pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated 58-3-225E, which provides in part that a party may withdraw its petition from any commission docket as a matter of right and without prejudice, provided it does so prior to the later of the date responsive pleadings are filed or the date that the withdrawing party's direct testimony addressing the petition is due to be filed, that the Commission grant the joint request for withdrawal of the petitions for reconsideration or rehearing, limited rehearing. The request was filed before the requesting parties filed direct testimony addressing the petitions. Further, I move that the Chief Clerk is directed to administratively close the limited rehearing proceeding scheduled in this docket. As noted, Dominion Energy South Carolina filed a response to the joint request and stated its position that due to the requesting parties withdrawing their petitions, Dominion supports the request that the Commission close the limited rehearing proceeding. Mr. Chairman, that is my motion. I would add as an aside, and it's not necessarily part of the motion, that this motion addresses only the withdrawal of the petitions as requested and the closing of the scheduled limited rehearing proceeding. This motion does not address or intimate any Commission belief or action on any of the assertions or interpretations included in the joint request or in the response filed by Dominion. Thank you.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belser's motion. Are there questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Irvin.
Yes, sir, Commissioner Irvin.
Please note for the record that I recuse on this docket and will not be voting.
The record will reflect that Commissioner Irvin is recused on this docket and will not be voting. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 5 is docket number 2020-1-E. This is the fuel case of Duke Energy Progress, LLC, and this matter is ready for final disposition by the Commission.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, this is the matter of Duke Energy Progress's 2020 fuel case. There are outstanding motions to strike on behalf of Duke Energy Progress and the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy and South Carolina Coastal Conservation League. I move that we find that, number one, Duke Energy Progress complied with all requirements imposed on Duke Energy Carolinas LLC in docket number 2019-3-E in Commission Order number 2019-691. Duke Energy Progress shall continue to record its natural gas utilization on an hourly and daily basis. Number two, Commission staff shall communicate with the parties to determine whether a different procedural schedule is appropriate for use in fuel cases on a prospective basis. Again, that's procedurally. Number three, Duke Energy Progress shall set its total fuel factors as follows: 2.456 cents per kilowatt hour for residential, 2.258 cents per kilowatt hour for general service, non-demand 1.887 cents kilowatt hour for general service demand, 1.887 cents per kilowatt hour for lighting. Number four, these amounts, allocations within these total fuel factors will be in accordance with Duke Energy Progress witness Harrington's exhibits and direct testimony. Mr. Chairman, these fuel factors result in a decrease of $4.11 for a residential customer using 1,000 kilowatt hours per month. All other issues not addressed will be addressed in the full written order to follow. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. The questions or comments, and I'll have one comment that I will not be voting on this particular docket because I was on sick leave for that fuel case. So any other questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
And the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 6 is docket number 2019-227E. We are presenting for commission consideration the scheduling of a hearing regarding Lockhart Power Company Incorporated's 2020 Integrated Resource Plan.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we direct the clerk of the clerk's office to establish a hearing schedule regarding Lockhart Power Company Incorporated 2020 Integrated Resource Plan. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Hamilton's motion. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll vote. Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 7 relates to docket number 2019-281S. It's a Palmetto Utilities Incorporated rate case. The question before the commission is Palmetto Utilities' motion to strike portions of certain Office of Regulatory Staff's direct testimony and exhibits, and also for imposition of sanctions.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Urban.
Palmetto Utilities has filed a motion to strike certain testimony that was pre-filed in this case, along with certain exhibits of Charles E. Loy, Daniel P. Hunnell II, and Christina L. Seal of the Office of Regulatory Staff. Palmetto Utilities is also seeking sanctions. For the reasons I'm about to review, I would move that we deny the motion in part and grant in part. In this case, Palmetto Utilities, the company, never designated this information in its testimony as confidential in its filings. In the United States, in the case of Utilities Services versus Office of Regulatory Staff, the South Carolina Supreme Court quoted South Carolina Code Section 58-4-10 and held that the Office of Regulatory Staff, and I quote, must represent the public interest of South Carolina before the Commission, end quote. In a 2019 Defusky Island Utility Company Incorporated versus South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff case, the Supreme Court of South Carolina held that the statutes governing the Office of Regulatory Staff require that the agency protect the public interest, provide public utilities with a fair rate application proceeding, and to make in these type proceedings appropriate and reliable recommendations to the Commission. Based on the court's holding in these two cases, the testimony and evidence under consideration addressed by the company's motion to strike is not entitled to confidential protection under South Carolina Code Section 58-4-55. The Office of Regulatory Staff's interest in protecting the public dictates that the information from the company's books and records be available to the public and to the Commission so that RS can, quote, make appropriate recommendations to the Commission with respect to the rates charged or proposed to be changed by any public utility. Therefore, I move that we deny the company's motion to strike and their requests for sanctions, including but not limited to the cost of the motion, attorney's fees, reimbursement for the amount of the company payment to Mr. Loy's employer on behalf of ORS pursuant to state law for this case, and the relief of further obligations to pay Mr. Loy's employer for his work in this case. The imposition of sanctions, of course, is in the sound discretion of the Commission. I further move that we grant the company's motion to be allowed to file additional rebuttal testimony and exhibits responsive to the portions of the direct testimony and exhibits of ORS witnesses Loy, Hunnell, and Seal. This testimony should be filed with the Commission and served upon all parties by 4 p.m. Friday, June 26, 2020. Since the filing of surrebuttal testimony is discretionary with the Commission, I further move that no filing of surrebuttal testimony be allowed. At the hearing in this case, the parties will have the full right to cross-examine all witnesses who are allowed to testify and to review any exhibits prior to being placed into evidence. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Urban's motion. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none, Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner.
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, we also have an item, docket number 2019-281S, Palmetto Utilities. For this item, staff presents for Commission consideration certain proposals contained in the letter of protest comments filed June 16, 2020 by Mr. Grant Robich.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Belzer.
In an email dated June 16, 2020, Mr. Grant Robich, a Palmetto Utilities customer, requested that the Commission delay acting upon Palmetto's application for a rate increase until the public health crisis presented by COVID-19 has passed. He also requested that the Commission hold 2 in-person public night hearings at which time affected customers could express their opinions and offer their testimony regarding the proposed rate increase. As a matter of law, I don't believe that the Commission can grant Mr. Robich's request to delay action on this docket. The Commission is bound by South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-5-240, which in part requires the Commission to rule upon a rate application within 6 months of filing. Under the 6-month rule imposed by this statute, the Commission was required to issue its final order, in this case no later than Wednesday, May 27, 2020. However, on or about March 18, 2020, following the outbreak of COVID-19 and the governor's order declaring a state of emergency, this Commission took the extraordinary step of requesting Palmetto Utilities waive its right to have its rate request ruled upon by May 27th. And if I said Wednesday, March 27th earlier, I apologize. I think I may have missed that, but it's May 27th, 2020. On the following day, Palmetto Utilities agreed to the waiver and a stay of all proceedings for a period of 60 days. This stay was voluntarily agreed to by Palmetto Utilities, and absent that agreement by Palmetto, the Commission had no power to order a stay. Subsequently, the parties to this proceeding agreed to a final order deadline of August 6, 2020. It's not possible without further agreement by the utility and the parties to postpone further action on this docket as Mr. Robich requests. And I do want to emphasize that Palmetto did voluntarily agree to that 60-day stay. They were under no legal obligation to do so. Likewise, I move that we deny Mr. Robich's request for in-person public night hearings. 2 public evening night hearings were scheduled, and 2 virtual public evening hearings have been held. In going forward with proceedings, the Commission and Commission staff have looked at the South Carolina court system for guidance on how the courts are conducting hearings. Guidance published by the Chief Justice of the South Carolina Supreme Court provides that video conferencing should be the primary means of holding hearings in the court system during this time of the COVID state of emergency. We are conducting the day hearing where the parties present their witnesses by utilizing virtual technology, as was done for the public night hearing. I believe that the virtual hearings conducted using remote communication technology such as video conferencing and telephone continues to be necessary to protect public health in this time when the COVID-19 pandemic is still ongoing. For these reasons, I move that the Commission deny Mr. Robich's request. That's my motion.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belcher's motion. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none. Commissioner Whitfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Aye.
Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner.
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that does complete the utilities agenda for today. Turning now to the transportation agenda. Item number 1 is docket number 2019-389T. This is the request of Palmetto Express Medical Transportation, LLC, for an extension of time until September 1st, 2020 to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hamilton.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant the request of Palmetto Express Medical Transportation, LLC, for an extension of time until September 1st, 2020, to comply with Commission rules and regulations. So moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Hamilton's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Howard.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban,
Aye.
Mr. Belzer,
Aye.
Mr. Whitfield,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 2 is docket number 2020-81-T. This is a request of CARE Transportation Services LLC for an extension of time until September 30th, 2020 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Commissioner Urban.
this is Commissioner Urban. I move that we grant the request of Care Transportation Services LLC for an extension of time until September 30, 2020 to comply with the commission rules and regulations. So moved.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Urban's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Whitfield,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Aye.
Commissioner Howard,
Aye.
Commissioner Urban,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
The next item is item number 3, docket number 2020-85T. The staff presents for commission consideration the request of Armstrong Transfer and Storage Company, Inc., DBA Armstrong Relocation Company, for approval to amend its tariff.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant Armstrong Transfer and Storage Company Incorporated, doing business as Armstrong Relocation Company's request for approval to amend its tariff. I would note the Office of Regulatory Staff has reviewed this matter and states that there have been no consumer complaints against Armstrong Relocation in the past 12 months, and that the carrier is currently in compliance with all relevant commission rules and regulations. So move.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none, Commissioner Hamilton,
Aye.
Commissioner Howard,
Aye.
Commissioner Urban,
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 4 on the transportation agenda is docket number 2016-147T. This is a request of Capital Investments LLC, DBA Cabs Here, to cancel its Class C taxi certificate number 9164-A.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Howard.
Mr. Chairman, the reason for this request by Mr. Parocco is that he has been diagnosed with cancer and kidney failure. He cannot manage his business due to his declining health. First, I'd like to wish him all the best in his medical issues and thank him for being part of the business community in South Carolina. So therefore, Mr. Chairman, I move we grant the request of Capital Investors LLC, DBA Casby Here to cancel Class C taxi certificate number 9164-8. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You heard Commissioner Howard's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Urban,
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Whitfield,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 5 is docket number 2017-298T. This is the request of Jackson Travel and Tours LLC to suspend its Class C charter bus certificate number 0389 until June 15th, 2021.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belzer.
I move that the commission grant the request of Jackson Travel and Tours LLC to suspend Class C charter bus certificate number 0389 until June 15th, 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belzer's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, Commissioner Whitfield,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Aye.
Commissioner Howard,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer,
Aye.
and I vote aye, and motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that does complete the transportation agenda for today, and indeed, that completes all the agendas for today, and I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. Is there anything else to come before the commission today? Anyone? And if not, thank you everyone for participating today, and we are adjourned. Thank you.